I'm gonna talk mad quiet. I'm gonna talk mad quiet. There's people downstairs, and I don't need them. The information I'm about to put out here is not something I need. I don't want to be scaring these people. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I'm just gonna get into it, right? So I've been around for a hot minute now. Know a lot, but I also don't know a lot. I have a solid foundation of quantum physics. Um, I can calculate the approximate depth of the universe pretty accurately. But there's certain things that I don't know. It's that simple. That's the flaw of every human. I learned pretty fucking quickly. Um, I'm 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 gonna stop, teasing. I'm gonna stop, rubbing you over the pants. I'm just gonna get into it, right? Testicles, right? Um, like about 50% of us got them, right? So that's like 6 million, 6 million fucking nuts hanging around, plus or minus 1 or 2 billion. You never know, right? Like 6 billion people in the world got a pair of nuts, and nuts are notorious, right? Testicles, they're notorious for having a shit ton of nerve endings. So they're notorious for being sensitive little fucking freaks, right? I've had times where I'll try to catch something, and when you try to catch something, you put it close to your body because your other hand's too far, right? Your right hand reacted, but your left hand's still watching fucking inflation porn. So when I grab it to secure it to the body, I would say 75% of the time, it ends up being secured to my testicles. When I'm catching something 75% of the time, it's being moved from free fall and it's being moved to my body at the moment that it's falling by my nuts. So I catch it, it hits my nuts, and for about a good 15 minutes, I have the urge to throw up. There's a slight, there's just a slight twinge, and then there's just constant nausea, right? So I know I've had nuts, I've been around, um, but in my old age, I'm slowly learning that with testicles comes great responsibility. Comes a lot of there's a lot of maintenance, a lot more maintenance than most people think. There are days where I wish I had a vagina, right? Days, some days I love having nuts, but on the days that I don't, I wish I had a vagina. And then I change really fucking quick because the more I think about it, having a one-way entrance into the inside of your body is not as fun as it sounds, at least to me. Because imagine I'm just scratching my clit, I slip, and now there's a fist in my fucking stomach. That's not a thought that I take too kindly to. So I'm very grateful for having a dick and nuts, but I'm also not grateful for having a dick and nuts. A dick and nuts is a responsibility, to say the least. Born with nuts, you need to take care of them. You only have one pair of nuts. And I found that out the hard way. There is a yin and yang harmonic balance that you need to engage in to optimize the quality of life of your testicles. And all my life, I never really had to think about it. But recently, I've had a bunch of problems. The main one was one time I was taking a shower and I went to go clean my nuts, so I did a little squat to expose the sides so they weren't sticking to my thighs. And so as I do that, they kind of they bounce, because they're they're going from sticking to the thighs. The thighs were holding them together. They were creating like a little nice foundation for them to sit on. But as soon as you release the thighs, they have no support. So the rest of the sack is free to fall. And when that happens, the nuts, boom, they clap into that. they clap into the sack, right? Because the sack is the true foundation, right? clap into the, they clap into the slack. Boom. They don't really clap, but that's just how I imagine it when they fall and they hit the bottom of the sack. Right there, boom. Right? But then I'll do that, and as soon as they reach, as soon as they finish falling, as soon as they reach terminal terminal velocity, boom, fucking pain shoots right up my fucking right nut into my fucking brain, fucking just condensed pain. I'm like, what the fuck? I grab my nut in pain, right? That doesn't help. Whenever I move it, fucking it just pain, just shoot pure pain, just shoots up my spine into my brain from my right nut. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a little gentle. I perch them, I clean them, and I perch them right back on my thighs after I clean my thighs too. And then I go to sleep. Hey, we're solid, we're solid. Then I turn over on my side. Fuck, man, that shit moved my nuts. Pain, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I look up. It's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm looking up. Why the fuck, on and off pain when switching positions, when squatting, when walking. When walking, it was happening when I was walking too the next day. So I look up. They saying, "Hey, gang, your nuts is twisted, and if you don't get that shit sorted out, you're gonna lose your nut." I didn't want that to happen, but I'm like, there's got to be some other way, because they talking about testicular torsion. They talking about that shit is up there in pain. Motherfuckers talking about this is the worst pain they've ever felt. And I wasn't there yet. It was kind of just uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong, it fucking hurt. But it was kind of just like whenever I switch positions, whenever I walked, whenever I was actually putting my nuts through cardio, right? When I was forcing the motherfuckers to move, that was when it hurt. So I'm like, I doubt it's gonna be a fucking torsion. Am I stupid for just assuming? Yes. In hindsight, I should have brought that motherfucker to the ER, because I could have lost a nut. But I didn't. And this is where I get into the next part. I started feeling like I had a hernia, right? And I'm like, yo, don't tell me I got a hernia. Because I've had a hernia before. And I was like, yo, don't tell me I got a hernia. No. I go on Reddit. Haha, fucking Reddit. Reddit is actually very helpful, because there's there's a side where it's just fucking loser Redditors. But then there's actually a large subgroup of real human beings that are sharing their experience. Reddit isn't as bad. It's actually not bad at all. There are actually some very informative people on there, as long as you go to the right side. So I was looking like, okay, my nuts hurt and I feel like I have a hernia. So I looked up those exact symptoms, and it popped up on Reddit. The guy says, I found out my underwear was too tight, and as soon as I switched to looser underwear, it fixed my problem. And I said, hold on, wait a minute. And I was like, I did feel like at that time I was gaining a little bit of weight. And I was like, hold on, my underwear was feeling a little, it was feeling a little, you know what I'm saying? So I switched to the boxers. I switched to the flowiest pair of fucking boxers I had. And it took a while. I think after like maybe 2 days of just switching to heaven, no pain, no hernia symptoms, no testicular torsion symptoms, just fucking bliss. And then that's when the other problem occurred. I had just read about testicular torsion, and now this thought just lingers in my fucking brain. Testicular torsion, worst pain of your life, And so I'm wearing these boxers, man, and these things are amazing. I don't normally wear boxers because they're a little tight at the waistband, and I got mountains, motherfucker. I got mountains. And so I'm like, hold on, I kind of fuck with these boxers. Then they actually fit a little good this time around. And my nuts had fucking free reign. This shit was like, imagine you're 8 years old. You're left in a fucking Swiss chocolate, fucking gourmet chocolate, or if you don't like chocolate, just a gourmet candy store, right? And I don't know, your mom walks away to fucking look at something, and you miraculously find $10,000 on the floor, and you have full reign to buy whatever fucking chocolate, whatever candy you fucking want. This is a fucking dream, right? That's how my nuts was feeling in them boxers. Them motherfuckers can move left, right, left, right. Them motherfuckers could go cross country. Them motherfuckers, and that was the thing. Cause sometimes I wake up and I make sure they was out there. Man, sometimes my left nut will be fucking looking east. My right nut will be looking northwest, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I mean, them motherfuckers was just fucking. They have never been this free in their fucking life. And I start thinking testicular torsion, when your nuts fucking move a certain way they're not supposed to. I cut that bitch off, bro. I said, hell no, I'm not gonna have my nuts moving around all this fucking doing all this fucking wibbly wobbly fucking all this fucking bullshit, bro. In the middle of the night, unsupervised. Hell no. Motherfuckers talking about they woke up in the middle of the night with a testicular torsion. Fuck no. I went back to my briefs, and that's when I realized that there is, you know, a you have to have your Goldilocks moment for your nuts. And so I'm still on the search for the right underwear. I feel like I'm mad. I'm hella close to finding the right underwear. And I was thinking at one point, I was like, yo, let me get them shits, let me get them drawers that hold your dick and nuts, right? They have like a little sock, like a little pocket that'll hold your dick and nuts. Find out what these are about. But then I thought about, I was like, hell no. I said, hell no. Fuck, I look like spending like them shits was expensive for a pair. It was like $dollars, fucking 25, maybe even 30. I don't remember how much they were. Fuck, I said, the fuck I look like. I wear underwear every fucking day. Hot take, you should be wearing underwear every day. Whatever. Right? And I try to do laundry not every week. I try to fucking postpone laundry for like a month. So the fuck I look like having one pair of underwear have to be washed to be used. I still haven't found the El Dorado of my underwear. Still on the search, but I just wanted to let y'all know. Take care of your fucking nuts. Sometimes that shit gonna be making you wish you had a puss.